Guess who has a slick new microphone? I'm gonna eat it now. On this channel, I've mainly been talking about full albums, a front-to-back auditory experience, usually lasting around a half an hour to a full hour. However, for this video, I just want to talk about the beginning part, and what a good place to start, the beginning. The beginning of an album, much like this video, has to entice you from its very few starting moments. If it doesn't entice you then, what's keeping you around for the rest of the album? Why would you stay around for the rest if the first track wasn't so immediately gratifying or interesting to the point where you would want to listen on further? So without further ado, today I'd like to talk about some of my favorite intro tracks to some of my favorite albums, and what you can learn from them if you want to make music on your own, or you just listen to a lot of music like me and you like to point out things in music and then point those things out in a 5-minute video on YouTube. Anyways, first up we have one of my favorite neo-soul albums, taking it all the way back to 1995. Brown Sugar, D'Angelo. It's Brown Sugar. D'Angelo was to R&B as the Strokes were to rock music. Neo-soul is a revival genre of 70s soul and funk infused with contemporary R&B of the 90s and hip-hop. Oh, and jazz too. Can't forget jazz. And at its inception, D'Angelo was the poster child of this movement, and for good reason. This album kicks ass. Or rather, it doesn't kick ass, because around the time, in the face of all the hardcore, gritty gangster rap about guns and drugs and gangbangs and shootings and guns and gangbangs and drugs, Brown Sugar is a collection of love songs. It's a collection of jams that are extended to beyond the 5-minute point about romantic situations that anyone can relate to. And to kick it all off is the title track, Brown Sugar, on the album Brown Sugar, released in the year 3030. Almost immediately, this song displays the sonic concoction of sounds that the album Brown Sugar is capable of. From jazz to soul to hip-hop and everywhere in between, all melded together in this incredibly tight package. The song is incredibly hypnotic, with the grooves brought about by the hip-hop inspired drum patterns and the subtle, incredibly subtle bass and keys. Then you have the vocals from D'Angelo himself, which match the tone of the instrumental backing perfectly. His vocals and how he structures his lyrics are repetitive and effortless, and I don't mean that in a negative criticism at all. They don't sound lazy or uninterested, and I think they do a lot to meld in with the beat. Even though the whole song is 4 minutes long, it very clearly establishes what the album is going to sound like. This is a vibe out album. This is the kind of album you want playing while you're on your porch, drinking a beer, sun setting. Life is good, okay? This album is a life's good album. In a similar vein, we have the song No Ordinary Love from the album Love Deluxe by Sade from 1992. I've already talked about this song and the whole album it's from at length on another video on my channel, so if you haven't seen that, please check it out. But to keep things brief, this is one of the best soul songs ever. Period. There's an ethereal quality to this song that's so simple yet so indescribable at the same time. Immediately, the song's airy pads and minimal drum machines put the listener into a state of relaxation, like being submerged underwater. This is reinforced by Sade's descending vocal melodies, which, if there's one thing you can't hate about a Sade song, it's the vocals. Throughout the track, there are also these guitar parts which pop up that are drenched in flanger and reverb effects, which add to the watery feel of the song. However, in the pre-chorus, the guitars completely abandon these effects and decide to go in raw. They instead take on this repetitive driving rhythm that you would expect out of a Led Zeppelin song, but the way they're woven into No Ordinary Love could not sound more natural. The guitars keep building and building and driving until the chorus hits, and let me tell you, when that chorus hits, they hit. They hit. The chorus is the climax of the song, with the atmosphere feeling simultaneously tighter yet more sprawling than it has in the song thus far. It's like taking your first breaths after spending 15 minutes underwater. There is no conceivable reason why this song works so well, and yet it does so incredibly well. No Ordinary Love is frickin' amazing. It's such a satisfying opener that I couldn't see it being anywhere else on the track list than at the very beginning. Alright, we got too much R&B on here, too much smooth stuff. We gotta go with something big. We gotta go with a banger. We gotta go with something hard. We gotta go with Death Grip. We gotta go with Death Grip. Whoa, let's go. We're doing Death Grips. By the way, I got a new mic in between recording all this, so if my mic sounds different, that's why. And I don't want to bother to retake all of my takes that I already recorded, because I already recorded them and I'm happy with them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Death Grips hold a special place in my heart where I would listen to them religiously all the time. And I don't listen to them as much anymore, but god damn it, when I listen to them, I listen to the hell out of them. Oh my god, I listen to a lot of Death Grips. And from this era of my life, I gotta say, my favorite track, my favorite song of all time pretty much was this song, Get God, from their album The Money Store. And this contrasts a lot with my music taste up until that point when I discovered Death Grips. Because my favorite song up until that point was Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Yeah, I was in my dark ages back then, so yeah. Needless to say, Death Grips was the sea change I desperately needed, and Get God was the goddamn tsunami. The electronics on here sound like Daft Punk having a seizure, the production on here is as dirty as an atomic crater, and the groove on this thing just... God damn, the groove just makes me want to punch something! Even though this doesn't have the most intense or feral vocal performance of any Death Grips song, I still think this is amazing, and as an opener, goddamn perfect. It was actually kind of hard to pick this one over any other Death Grips intro track because Death Grips have a tendency to have really good intro tracks. Like even on their lesser albums, they still manage to kick things off with BANG! Regardless though, I just got too much respect for Get God, and even if I didn't, it's still goddamn amazing. And I couldn't have asked for a better way to start the album that it comes with. Now, are there other album intros that I could have talked about here? Yes, a few already come to mind. But I don't want to keep talking about this, because it's already, this video is almost 8 minutes long, and I'm done talking. I think I've talked all I've wanted to talk, and as much fun as I had talking, I think I'm done for today. But if there's any album intros that you'd like, comment down below, especially if it's an album I might have not heard before. Who knows? Enlighten me, you know? I'm currently working on a top 10 albums of 2023. I've just been cranking out listening to every album I've been meaning to listen to from this year, and then going back and revisiting some, but I only have so much time on my hands, so it'll be out when it's out, people. It'll be out when it's out. We will like that. We like that work ethic, don't we? Great work ethic, yeah. I recently spoke to the people of Waterloo, Ohio. Waterloo, Ohio, great people. And they said, we need the top 10 list. We need it. And I said, I'm working on it. And I'll have it when I can get it out as soon as possible. I'm still listening to music. One album. At least one album every day. Barack Obama, he could get it out maybe one album every 2-3 weeks. I can get it out 1 week. He can't do that. Obama can't do that. No, he can't.
Donald Trump, what are you doing in my house? I hate your guts. Get out of here, Donald. What the hell?